Good evening, Belize. Tonight, big money, bigger questions, as approval comes for a multi-million-dollar expansion at the Port of Belize, but only under strict conditions. In the south, the sea is winning ground, the Placencia's shoreline disappearing faster than solutions arrive. Fair grips Lord's Bank Village after a massive drug bust exposes what may be moving through the community. Regionally, Belize takes a firm stand behind Caricom's Secretary General, Dr. Carla Barnett, as questions swirl around her reappointment. And here at home, a $300 million education overhaul promises change, but will it reach every child? These stories and more, News 5 starts now.
We believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today. Only at Cellular World.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, April 9th. I am Sabrina Daly. After years of objection and revisions, plans to expand Belize City's port are moving forward under strict conditions. On April 2nd, the National Environmental Appraisal Committee, NEAC, gave conditional approval to Port of Belize Limited's cargo expansion and cruise port development project in the Port Loyola area. The decision follows a review of the project's revised 2026 environmental impact assessment and public concerns. NEAC made it clear that the project can proceed only if developers protect the environment and deliver real benefits to nearby communities. Dredging remains at the center of the committee's concerns. NEAC warned that careless dredging could damage marine life and requires developers to tightly control sediments, use proper dewatering systems, and manage dredge material carefully, no exceptions. The committee also flagged risks to water, land, and air during construction and operation, calling for ongoing mitigation. The proposed mangrove island for dredge disposal remains on the table, but only if it's safely engineered and closely monitored over the long term to ensure mangroves and coastal forests actually thrive. Community impact also mattered. NEAC tied its approval to conditions on traffic, flooding, job creation, local business opportunities, and a formal grievance system for residents. The Department of the Environment has accepted NEAC's recommendation and will require an environmental compliance plan to lock in those safeguards. Regulators noted the latest EIA differs sharply from earlier versions, helping win majority support, though not unanimous backing. Even with approval, scrutiny continues. Joint enforcement teams will monitor the project closely, especially during construction. For regulators, this isn't the end. It's a test of whether development can move ahead without sacrificing the environment or the community. Turning now to Placencia, where the coastline is disappearing and residents say time is running out. What was once a slow environmental threat has become an urgent crisis, with tens of feet of beach already lost to erosion. Villagers fear what comes next for their homes, their livelihoods, and the future of the peninsula itself. Tonight, we hear firsthand from a longtime resident who says urgent action is needed before the damage becomes irreversible.
The beach naturally ebbs and flows. It would erode a little, then it builds back. It would erode a little, then it builds back. But I would say over the past 2 decades, it started to erode and not build back to where it was before. Then over the past decade, it started to rapidly increase. And over the past 5 years, you can see now where we have significant erosion. And it is not only in the Placencia village area, it is the entire peninsula. And it has been a grave concern for residents in this area, especially beachfront property owners. And it has reached, in my opinion, it has reached a critical condition where something needs to be done immediately. I pulled up some pictures from 10 years ago, and I have seen about 50 to 60 feet of beach loss. Comparing those two sets of pictures, about easily 50 to 60 feet of beach loss.
In your view, as a long-time resident, what's the worst case scenario?
Monkey River. Yes, absolutely. We are pretending that it cannot happen, but Monkey River was once much bigger than Placencia. That is where we used to go spend the Easter weekend.
As waves continue to chew away at the Placencia Peninsula, government officials say they're stepping in before the damage goes any further. After residents raised alarm about worsening erosion along the coastline, the Department of the Environment insists the issue is already on its radar. Officials have been carrying out studies behind the scenes and are now taking their findings directly to the people most affected. According to Environmental Officer Kenrick Gordon, the department is hosting a public consultation tonight in Placencia Village, giving residents a chance to hear what's been learned so far and weigh in on possible solutions to protect the fast disappearing shoreline.
The consultation is open to the entire area. Within all residents within the Placencia Peninsula, starting from Riversdale all the way down to the Placencia. I think it covers about 24 kilometers. That's what the project was focusing on. We're trying to get buy-in or the community's input in terms of the results of what was provided from the project that we had initiated along with the community, with both the Placencia community village and the Inmate village. They've been working along with the University of South Florida. What we want to do is to present the results, the outcome of that study that was initiated I would say maybe over the past year and a half, and to see what are the best designs or options to help to try to address the issue of erosion that the peninsula is currently facing. As we all know, we've seen on many occasions members of the community pointing that out or complaining about the issues that the peninsula is facing.
With beaches shrinking and concerns growing, the meeting marks a key moment in shaping what happens next along one of Belize's most vulnerable coastlines. Coming up, months have passed with no answers, and tonight, a family is speaking out, desperate for any sign of their missing loved one, Reina Santos.
Is leveling up. We're moving from a bunch of IDs in endless forms to one secure, smart way to prove who you are. The National ID will give you your own unique number a protected population register, and faster verification, so things actually get done quicker. It's built with privacy, transparency, and inclusion because this system is for everyone. Have something to say? Join the public consultation.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Greater Belize Media. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Greater Belize Media.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Cause me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
The growing frequency and intensity of fires each year pose serious threat to human well-being, forest health, and biodiversity. This surge in wildlife fires is closely linked to climate change and human activities. As global temperatures rise, the risk of extreme weather intensifies. Warmer temperatures, prolonged droughts, and unmanaged lands and fuel create the perfect environment for wildfires to ignite and rapidly spread. Many forest fires are started by human actions. Careless campfires, discarded cigarettes, and even arson. It's not just about the climate. Our actions play a significant role in the fires that devastate these beautiful landscapes. Uncontrolled fires have far-reaching consequences that cannot be ignored. The impact of these fires goes beyond the flames. Smoke from wildfires can travel hundreds of miles, leading to poor air quality and serious health issues, especially for vulnerable populations. Exposure to wildlife smoke can exacerbate respiratory problems, increase heart disease risk, and harm overall public health. Simple actions like safely extinguishing campfires, properly disposing of smoking materials, and following local fire regulations can make a big difference. Effective fire management is crucial. By practicing controlled burns, fire breaks, maintaining healthy forests, and following safety guidelines, we can help prevent catastrophic fires and protect our environment and health. Join the Maya Forest Corridor Fire Working Group and help us manage fires responsibly. Stay informed about fire regulations, support local fire prevention programs, and take steps to reduce your carbon footprint. Together, we can build safer communities and a healthier planet. Remember, good fire management starts with all of us. Do your part to protect people and our natural resources.
Fear is rippling through Lords Bank Village tonight following a sizable weed bust on Wednesday. Right inside a residential property, investigators uncovered more than 1,100 pounds of marijuana, valued at over $1.6 million, shocking residents who say they never imagined something of that scale was operating in their community. The sheer size of the seizure has now sparked unease, with villagers worried about possible retaliation or spillover violence. Those fears are heightened as police continue probing a troubling string of murders in the Ladyville and Lords Bank areas. Cases authorities believe may be tied to the drug trade. For many residents, the bust has raised painful questions about who was involved and what dangers could still be lurking. News 5's Shane Williams reports tonight from a community on edge where shock has quickly turned into anxiety about what comes next.
The scale of Wednesday's bust has stunned residents of Largebank Village, including Chairman Daniel Salinas, who says nothing like this was ever expected in his community.
I was quite surprised with the amount of drugs that was found in the village. I didn't expect those quantity of marijuana to be in the village. I know there's a lot of young guys that uses the drug, but not to the quantity that was found yesterday. Well, I guess a lot of villagers were as surprised as me. People were in the village were talking about it. I went to the shop and people brought it up to me also. So I'm as quite surprised as them.
What makes the discovery even more unsettling is where it happened. The house used to store the drug sits directly behind the Belize Water Services compound, the same location where security guard Darwin Valera was murdered earlier this year. That proximity is now raising fresh questions about whether the killing and the massive drug operations are connected. At the time of Valera's death, Assistant Superintendent Stacey Smith confirmed that police were already examining the murder as part of a wider pattern of violent crimes in the area.
There is a suggestion that is an area that is being explored, and certainly, as I've stated, these incidents, all three, including that of Mr. Valero and that of Mr. Bainton and Ferguson, are being investigated to ascertain whether there's a nexus between these incidents.
With tensions already high, Salinas says concerns about violence is real, but so too is the community's vigilance.
The concern is always there, but the police has ramped up their patrol. We always have a lot of police presence in the village. It's a big village. The Ladyville precinct has a very big role to play when it comes to protecting the villagers of Ladyville, Largebank. I think they go all the way to Boom Junction, to Muscat, all those areas there, So they have a very, very big role, a very, very big area to look after. But we also have a lot of neighborhood watch groups in the area, in the village. So I do think that villagers will be more cautious, and the watch groups will be more active.
We're following up tonight on a story that has sparked serious questions about medical care behind bars. On Wednesday, we reported on the death of Belize Central Prison inmate Philip Bowen, an asthma patient who died after suffering an attack in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Bowen was awaiting trial in connection with a 2020 double murder in Hopkins Village. His death has since drawn public concern and calls for answers. Tonight, we bring you those answers. We spoke with Kobe Foundation CEO Virgilio Murillo, who walked us through the prison administration's account of what care Bowen received in the moments leading up to his passing.
Around 7:20 a.m. of this morning, I was told that he began feeling bad. So he made it known to some people amongst him that he's not feeling well. And he requested medical attention, so he was rushed to the medic center because he was a known asthma patient. He had his asthma pump available to him, but it was apparent that his asthma attack in this instance may have been too severe that even with the pump, it wasn't adequate enough to help him with the attack. And while he was being taken to the medic center, I was told that he collapsed. So he had to be ferried the rest of the way to the medic center, where it was determined that it was so severe that he must be referred to the KHMH. So that happened. I was told that within 7 minutes, he was placed in the ambulance at the prison, which is always on standby, and transported to the KHMH. But he passed away en route to the KH. The reports are still being put together, but based on what I have been told thus far, it would have seemed that it was very timely and there was no delay. Like I said, the guy walked from the RRC building all the way to almost reaching the medic center.
Mario maintains the response was swift, though Bowen died on the way to the KHMH. A Hattieville mother is facing heartbreak tonight after a raging fire reduced her home to ashes, taking with it years of hard work and memories. As she begins the painful process of starting over, unsettling questions are also emerging. She believes the fire may have been deliberately set. News 5's Shane Williams has more on her story.
What remains of Therese Jacobs' home is ash and debris. For her, the loss goes beyond what can be seen. It represents years of hard work, sacrifice, and plans for a better future, all gone in a matter of minutes.
I work hard for my home, laboring. And my home is a home, have everything and more because I've helped a lot of people, and I have barrels with stuff to sell for me to open a store, for the village. They went there and she went there. They called me from there. I spoke with the police and said, Miss Jacobs, your house is going down, I'm like, I don't want to hear that. This time now I'm crying because I cannot do nothing, So it really hurts me there. It's like someone pushed their hands in my chest and open it.
Jacobs was not at home when the fire started. She was working in Punta Negra when she received a call no homeowner ever wants to get. Her house was burning and there was nothing she could do. Now, as she searches for answers, she suspects the fire may be tied to an ongoing family dispute.
I went straight to the police station to find out more or less what's happening, what caused my home, because the young man that I live there is a certified technician and I have no problem with wiring, in my home. But when he was there, this night that I leave, he sleep there at my home. But then he get a threat from someone, I don't want to say next door, and he said, you need to go from here, and the land is mine, house is mine, and it's a family dispute. But before I leave my home, there was someone the same person tampering with my meter, and he was doing it for a long time because I used to hear the noise and I'm always wondering, what is that noise? What is that noise?
She claims there had been previous tensions, including threats and suspicious activity around her home, raising troubling questions about whether the fire was deliberately set. Tonight, Jacobs is not only grieving what she has lost, but also struggling to move on.
I'm tired. I'm really tired and I'm feeling myself getting sick, but I'm trying to keep calm because God is in control of my life. And now that losing everything, it really hurts. It hurts.
With little more than the clothes she escaped with, she's now appealing to the public for help as she tries to rebuild her life from nothing.
I need help. That's what I'm asking. I need some help. I need some support. And I have one or two people that will help me with clothes. I have no clothing. The most I leave my home is like 10 pieces of clothes, and I just need some help.
Police have not confirmed the cause of the fire and investigations are ongoing. Meanwhile, anyone willing to assist Therese Jacobs is encouraged to reach out as she begins the long road to recovery. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
A Stan Creek family is living every parent's nightmare tonight, months without answers. 39-year-old Reina Santos vanished on June 30th after she was last seen at her home in San Juan Village. And despite reports she may have been spotted days later in Belmopan, she has not been heard from since. Loved ones say the silence is completely out of character. And with time passing and hope fading, the family is now appealing directly to the public and to Reina herself, asking for any information or simply a message to say that she is safe.
Lo que nosotros sabemos que ella desapareció.
What we know is that she disappeared on June 30th. And well, ever since she disappeared, we've been trying to contact her. She doesn't answer her phone or anything. Her children say that the last time they saw her was in the morning, and then they didn't see her. They tried to look for her, but they didn't know if she had disappeared. Maybe she was at another aunt's house. They went to check, and there was nothing there around 8 o'clock at night. They already started looking for her. Since Monday, they've been looking for her and everything, and she wasn't answering her phone. They say the last time she was online on WhatsApp, and it said that the last time she was online was around 8:30 in the morning. Her disappearance like this is something we've never seen from her before. What we find strange is that she hasn't contacted anyone, not her parents, her siblings, her children, nothing. And that makes us think that maybe something bad happened to her, and we want to know if she's living where she is. She needs to contact someone in the family at least to let us know that she's okay, because that's what really matters to us right now, knowing she's well.
Porque lo que realmente nos importa en estos momentos.
He says they're holding on to hope and urging anyone with information or Reina herself to come forward and help end months of painful uncertainty. After the break, questions linger as Minister Francis Fonseca avoids addressing the CEO my issue, saying the final decision rests squarely with the Prime Minister. But first, here's the weather forecast from the National Met Service.
Protect your motor, secure your property. Oh yeah, home protector insurance got you covered, you see. Covered, you see. From motor to property and even marine. We'll keep you safe no matter where you've been. No matter where you've been, no matter where you've been. Get the peace of mind that only we can bring. Oh yeah, with our insurance you will never fret or sing. Never fret or sing. We offer bonds and so much more, so much more. Home protector insurance, we got what you're looking for, what you're looking for. Secure your...
Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Open Your Eyes. It's time for viewers to call in and share their thoughts as we open up the phone lines to talk about gas prices, drug busts, and so much more. Then, the Belize Library Service is strengthening literacy through early reading interventions, helping young minds build confidence and success. And don't miss how the Matthew Roter Life Skills Series continues to inspire growth with powerful life skill training. Stay informed, get involved, and be part of the change. Tuning tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. on Open Your Eyes and start your morning right.
Town called Freedom and Mars Production present an event you can't afford to miss.
It's the Belize Music World Festival, Saturday, April 25th, 2026.
At the spacious Marion Jones Stadium. This annual event is geared to give you the very best in music, food, and artistry.
The Belize Music World Festival.
Headlines with two of Reggae World's very best performers. The one and only Mr. Siggy himself.
Taurus Riley.
With the very first time in Belize, Reggae Prince of Reggae Royal Family,
Skip Marley.
I just wanna be close to you. With his band and also Also featuring on this momentous event is Pete Cayetano with his band and Jay Cass with his band. Yes, Belize, it's a full-on band show. Also backing up this show is DJ Jago, DJ Console, DJ Cad, DJ Smurf, and Clark, and Rossin Jaro. Firestarter sound. It's all hosted by DJ Dollar. So mark the date and don't be late. April 25th. Gates open at 7 for showtime at 8 at the Marion Jones Stadium. Ticket prices are bleachers $41. General admission $61. VIP $151. Ultra Boost $2,500. Also available. Cocktail tables for VIP area only. Sponsors are A Town Called Freedom, Mars Production, Monisco, Pelican, Travelers Liquor, BTB, Niche, Channel 5, Channel 7, Love FM, and Love TV, Trim Radio and TV, and Cellular World.
There's quiet speculation churning tonight inside the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but no clear answers just yet. Foreign Minister Francis Fonseca is stopping short of confirming whether longtime CEO Amalia Mai will be removed from her post amid chatter of a leadership shakeup. When pressed today, Fonseca didn't dismiss the reports, but made it clear the final call rests with the Prime Minister.
Are you considering a change in CEO at MOFA? Will Amalia Mai be leaving?
That's a matter, as you know, CEOs, that's a matter for the office of the Prime Minister. So, you know, I'll leave it for them to make any official announcement on that matter.
Turning now to healthcare and diplomacy, where Belize is working to hold the line on a system under strain. With the agreement for Cuban doctors now expired, Cabinet has directed the Ministries of Health and Foreign Affairs to find a way forward to keep dozens of foreign medical professionals who remain vital to the country's health services. The discussions come amid mounting pressure from the United States and growing concern over staffing shortages at home. At the same time, the Briceño administration is exploring new options to boost the healthcare workforce, including plans to bring nurses from the Philippines and Nicaragua. Foreign Minister Francis Fonseca outlines what could be next for Belize's doctors and nurses.
I think I reported the last time we spoke that what Cabinet had instructed was that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs work along with the Ministry of Health and Wellness to look at different options that may be available. We, of course, our objective is to maintain the Cuban doctors in Belize. We have, I think, about 92 medical professionals under the program. 45 of them are medical doctors. They play a very critical role in our health system, especially in rural communities. So we want to work and find a way of maintaining their presence in Belize. So we're working, the Ministry of Health, as I said, on Foreign Affairs, we're working on a plan. And we're also in discussions with the Cuban government to see what options may be acceptable to them in terms of how we move forward. As you know, we had an agreement, that agreement expired. So it's in the context of some new arrangement, some new agreement that we're discussing these options. Our objective is hopefully that we can keep their presence here in Belize.
Are you looking at bringing Filipino nurses to Belize?
Again, Ministry of Health is looking, yes, they are looking at options. Even, putting aside the Cuban issue, we need nurses, even with the Cubans who are here in Belize.
As regional diplomacy heats up, Belize is drawing a firm line in support of Caricom's top official. As doubts surface over the reappointment of Caricom's Secretary General, Dr. Carla Barnett, The government of Belize says it stands squarely behind her leadership. The debate was sparked after Trinidad and Tobago raised procedural concerns. But Belize insists there is broad regional backing for Dr. Barnett to continue at the helm. Foreign Affairs Minister Francis Fonseca weighed in today, making it clear that Belize views continuity as critical for the regional bloc at a time of shared economic and geopolitical challenges.
We fully support the reappointment of Dr. Carla Barnett. We recognize that, Trinidad and Tobago has raised certain concerns about procedural concerns about her reappointment. We agree that those have to be addressed within Caricom, but Belize fully supports Dr. Barnett's reappointment. We think the great majority of countries in Caricom do. And as you know, her term, I think this is one issue that may have gotten lost in the discussion. Her term really comes to an end in August of this year. And so I don't think there was ever the intention that it was at this meeting that there would be a final determination of her reappointment. But it was discussed at the leaders' retreat, and the leaders expressed their support for her reappointment. Now it's a question of formalizing that reappointment at the subsequent meeting. I think they'll have another meeting in July, I believe. And it's at that meeting that there will be a formal reappointment process.
Fonseca also hinted that the issue is far from settled, with Caricom leaders expected to revisit the matter when they meet later this year, setting the stage for further high-level discussions behind closed doors. After months of limbo, Belize's Millennium Challenge Compact is moving ahead, but with a new shape. The $125 million U.S. deal survived tough talks with the new U.S. administration, but at a cost. Less money for education and bigger push into energy. Education funding drops from $74 million to $54 million U.S. dollars, while energy almost doubles from $21 million to $42 million U.S. dollars. Foreign Affairs Minister Francis Fonseca says the shift was necessary to keep the agreement alive and insists Belize still stands to gain. Now with the deal back on track, the focus turns to delivering results under the revised plan.
Obviously, as the Minister of Education, I was very happy with the original structure of the plan, the compact, which saw about 80% of the funds going into education, 20% into energy. Now it's about 60-40, 60 into education, 40 into... a new administration came in the U.S. And they wanted to review the MCC. As you all know, for a while there, we were in limbo. We didn't quite know whether or not the compact would continue, any at all. That was under review. We're very happy that we were able, through discussions, to get them to agree to continue with the program. And in that process, we had to make certain compromises, and one of them was that we had to shift more funds into energy, into the energy sector plan, and less into education.
Fonseca says Belize made tough compromises to keep the MCC alive, and now the challenge is turning that revised deal into real results. Still ahead, a proposed market makeover in Dangriga is stirring unease as street-side vendors worry the changes could push them out of business.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up, not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares, people who listen, people who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
Smart, bringing people together.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Hello, I am Roy Reyes, owner of Fina Purified Water Corozal Tong. I am the proud owner of 3 jack trucks. These trucks are very reliable, spacious, fuel efficient, and I would advise any business owner, try jack. You'll be very satisfied with their performance.
Belize is doubling down on its long-standing friendship with the Republic of China, Taiwan. The country's new ambassador, Amino Chi, is already making his mark, meeting with key government leaders just days after officially presenting his credentials in late March. With deep experience and a personal connection to Belize, Foreign Affairs Minister Francis Fonseca says Ambassador Chi is well positioned to help push an already strong partnership even further, with national development firmly in focus.
Ambassador Chi is no stranger to Belize. He has served in Belize before in different capacities. This is his first time serving as an ambassador. We're very, very happy to have him. He knows Belize, he understands Belize. He has a very deep appreciation and love for our country. His children went to school here in Belize. So we think we're going to have a very, very good, strong relationship with him that will help us to deepen and strengthen our partnership with Taiwan. And of course, Taiwan is a very, very important development partner of Belize.
With a familiar face now leading Taiwan's mission in Belize, officials say the renewed relationship sets the stage for even deeper cooperation and continued development support. Belize is betting big on its classrooms, rolling out a bold $300 million plan to rewrite how students learn and succeed. The newly launched Belize Education Sector Plan 2.0 sets a 5-year course from 2026 to 2030, designed to break down long-standing barriers that keep too many children from reaching their full potential. Education officials say the plan sharpens accountability, strengthens partnership, and leans heavily into digital access and competency-based learning, all with one clear goal: preparing Belizean students with the skills they need to thrive in a rapidly changing world.
This event is not just about unveiling our Belize Education Sector Plan 2026 to 2030, 2.0, as we call it. For me and for us at the Ministry of Education, it is really about accountability. It is about transparency. And it is about partnerships that make education work in Belize.
Imagine a Belizean student waking up early in the morning in a rural community or urban community. That student has dreams, potential, and the desire to succeed. But for many families, the path to education is not always easy. The challenge is not only getting a child to school, but also ensuring that that child remains in school, is supported, and succeeds thereafter. This is the story of how the Ministry of Education is working to remove those barriers and create real opportunities for all Belizean students and families.
Through Connect Ed, we have already reached 78% of our primary and secondary schools. Bringing connectivity and access directly into the classrooms. Connected to the right attitude through 501 Academy and access to competency-based education. Because curiosity needs the freedom to explore and the space to grow through mastery, not memorization.
Education officials say the new plan is about more than policy. It's about keeping Belizean children in school, connected and equipped to turn their dreams into real opportunities. The Dangriga Town Council says it wants to clean up the streets and breathe new life into a struggling town market. But the plan is worrying street vendors. Officials are proposing to clear vendors from busy areas near the bus terminal and Ecumenical Drive and move them into the market, saying it will ease traffic, improve safety, and create a central space for business and tourism. Vendors, however, fear losing the steady flow of customers they rely on. In response, the council held a public meeting on Wednesday to hear concerns, with Market Councillor Gilberto Bernardes saying the goal is to bring Dangriga in line with towns that already run organized, thriving markets.
We had a public consultation with the vendors, and the purpose of this consultation is to basically revive the Dangriga market at the market square. As you know, the Dangriga market is dead in comparison to the different markets around town. If you go to Belize City, there's a well-organized market. You go to Cayo, there's a well-organized market. You go to Belmapan, Punta Gorda, Orange Rock, and Corozal. So Dangriga is a bit behind. On Ecumenical Drive, we have a lot of traffic. All right, so we'll be able to ease the traffic from Ecumenical Drive. Also, we'll be able to create more order around our town because we have people coming in from out of town, setting up wherever they want. All right, we want to improve that. Also, to improve the safety around town and the emergency exit. As we know, from time to time we have emergencies. We have police vehicle moving. We have the fire truck moving. We want to try as much as possible to have our roadways cleared. All right. Also to create a hub for tourists. Oftentimes tourists come into Dangriga and they're looking for the market. They're looking for the market to buy souvenirs, to buy food, and so on. So those are some of the benefits of basically reviving our market here in Dangriga.
Town officials say the proposed vendor move is about safety, traffic flow, and tourism. But for many in Dangriga, the real challenge now is finding a balance between order and earning a living. Hopes for improved security on Keycocker are giving way to mounting frustration tonight. Construction on a new police station has abruptly stalled, leaving residents and village leaders asking why work has suddenly stopped. The project, announced earlier this year as part of a national push to modernize policing, now appears caught up in questions over the very land it sits on. Reports circulating tonight suggest the property may be tied up in an ownership dispute or may have even been sold, raising serious concerns about delays. For officials on the rapidly growing island, the pause is alarming, especially as calls for a stronger police presence continue to grow louder.
The substation in Kikaka will greatly enhance the capability and greatly enhance the working conditions of the officers stationed there. For now, where they are is inadequate, and this will make sure that the police substation and the officers working there provide that necessary security for the residents, but not only for the residents, but for the visitors that go to Kikaka.
We're expecting more clarity when the Kikaka Village Council takes up the issue tomorrow. There's more news after the break, so stay tuned.
5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
In the heart of the Kayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the Caricom Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
What happens when you step off the edge?
Too late to back out now. He said I'm ready. No, I'm not.
And land somewhere unexpected. Sometimes it breaks you open. Wild at root?
That is very bitter.
But sweet on the tongue. Where history calls out, and you answer with open arms. This isn't just a journey. It's across borders.
That was amazing!
connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
Smart, bringing people together.
Belize's athletes aren't merely competing, they're winning, and the momentum is building fast. Behind the podium, finishes, and record-breaking performances is a focused push by the Belize Olympic Committee to give top talent what they need most: time, support, and the freedom to train. Secretary General Giovanni Alamia says a select group of athletes is receiving financial backing to train full-time, and the payoff is already clear. In recent weeks, cyclists Jaiven Gonzalez and Justin Chavarria dominated the Holy Saturday cross-country cycling classic. Brooklyn Little powered her way to gold at Carifta, and swimmer Davia Richardson wrapped up her season with personal best times. Alamia says this is exactly the result the program aimed for, and a glimpse of what Belizean athletes can achieve when investment meets opportunity.
Recently, of course, with the cross-country results, Jaiven finishing 4th, I believe Derek finished 5th, and in Carifta, you had Brooklyn come in 1st, right? So those are things that we're keeping track of, right? And we're very excited because now we're seeing the results. We're seeing that, yes, we're coming in on the back end. We haven't invested in it with them for 20, 30 years or anything like that, right? But we're as the Olympic Committee, we're bringing them over the peak, or bringing them to peak, right? And the idea is to have them peak when you have qualifiers for Pan American Games, Olympic Games, because we don't want to have athletes just representing Belize and receiving invitational slot. Right? We want to see athletes qualify. With this investment, and the scholarship is for 4 years, so you have these 6 athletes that are given a monthly salary to train, right? And to help with any other expenses they might have with school, with coach, in David's case, with a pool, renting of a pool. She uses a sports psychologist. With Brooklyn, with masseuse, and so everything it adds up. So we're hoping that this kind of alleviates a lot of the pressure on them and their family. And I mean, they get $1,500 US a month.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.